Welcome back to Ultra Despair Girls. Time for the second bonus. We're going to look at some missing dialogue. I actually didn't know these existed. Either that or I did, and I just missed them. So after you're done down in the tunnels already collapsed, you've met Jotaro, come back up here, and before you meet the dancing Monokuma, come up here to where you're supposed to go, and Toko will turn you right around so you can go up the stairs. Now, after visiting the dancing Monokuma, you can't go back up there, which I thought would be really cool. And after you save Shirokuma, yeah, you can't go up those stairs, there's nothing up there for you, just an invisible wall. And now for some shenanigans. Did you know that these Monokuma that are doing a multi-step can be moved around a little bit, and they won't attack you? Well, at least for a little while, you could just mess up their dance pattern. This bridge here, where you're supposed to get knocked off by these Monokuma, they will almost always fall through the platform. Another thing I did after getting Taichi Fujisaki, I decided to, bring him along for the ride, and I left a couple Monokumas alive. I got curious, what if there's a missing scene that I just didn't think of? Bring Taichi along, pick up a few collectibles. Unfortunately, nothing happened. The only thing of note is there's now a pile of bodies in front of this puzzle door. Let's make Jotaro's robot dance. He does like a little worm move on the ground, since that's the only way you can hit him. Speaking of Jotaro, Genocide Jack makes this fight a joke. Just like every other boss fight in this game, Genocide Jack is the way you want to go if you want to speed run this thing. She can hit him in the air. She can hit him down from the air. Oh, and another cool thing, you can use your super moves on the bosses. I didn't even consider doing this, and then I targeted it, and I was like, no way. No way, it actually works? Yes, it totally does, and it does massive damage to every boss you can do it on. See, look at that. Already half of the fight done. You just need to do it one more time. Oh, and by the way, you don't need to wait until he's down. You could just do it whenever. This is how broken Genocide Jack is. You don't even have to wait for the boss to get stunned. You could just take it out immediately. One more scissor for good measure. And I love the fact that you can do this, and there's a cardboard cutout for every single enemy in the game, including bosses. That's a nice attention to detail. And let's have some unique game overs. There were plenty of them in this chapter. So what happens if you don't save question mark? Well,
I haven't even introduced myself yet, and it's already game over.
I gotta admit, that's pretty clever. We don't know who they are, and they died underneath that sheet. Oh well. Another one here is, how about Taichi? He gets attacked, and puts his head through a laptop monitor.
Sorry. I guess I wasn't that helpful after all.
Well, it's better it happens now than in your close future. Sheesh. And one more, just because I saw it. I was wondering if Shirokuma would say anything different. And guess what?
Sorry that it's game over because of me.
Actually, it was me being a dick, but, I'm glad you're taking the rap for it. I mean, I don't want to look like a dick. And, of course, couldn't leave this one out. They give you 6 minutes, for God's sake. How could you even fail that? But you can. Just wanted to show it. And now let's talk about enemies! The Beast Monokuma are extremely fast. This is why you always want to use Genocide Jack when fighting these guys, because they are very quick to dodge. They are also very quick to get back on their feet. Another thing I wanted to show is they have a combo attack that they can kill you with. Good lord, these guys are violent. Let's go ahead and get back here. There's another thing I want to show off, and the fact that even if you shoot them directly head-on, sometimes they'll phase through it. These guys are hard to hit with your megaphone.
Something popped out again.
For the ball Monokuma, that attack actually doesn't do any damage. It actually just puts a little bit of trash in your vision. So they can't actually hurt you unless you have the bombs from far away. That's how ball Monokuma hits you. A ranged attack. Good lord. And now for regular deaths. I love the fact that the guard Monokuma actually used their shield to knock you off stuff. Which, by the way, being knocked off stuff sucks. Like, it really, really sucks. Guard Monokuma can do this for you, but also Bomber Monokuma can do it to you. A lot of cheap deaths in this chapter. I don't like it. And now for actual deaths. You probably already know what's going to happen here based on bonus 1 of all the different ways Monokumas could eat you. What about Guard Monokuma? Is that any different?
What the hell?
I wonder what happened in the recording booth when they told Jeremy Lee, yeah, you're about to be eaten by a robot bear. Now this one is the one you almost saw. This one's violent. I mentioned that Beast Monokuma were ferocious, and even in death, they're still throwing you around everywhere. How about Jotaro?
Yay! Priest Robot Dr. Von Gerald! Oh, now the player is gonna hate me too.
I kind of like that fourth wall breaking. Anyway, I decided to get a lower score just to see what would happen, and getting a C rank gives you a very interesting result.
Still so much to learn. Is this really how much you care about me? Come at me like you're trying to rip me open. That's the only way to earn Byakuya Togami.
I love that. Anyway, on to Chapter 3. Let's have some shenanigans. You can use your special move on Kotoko. I can't believe I'm saying this. Yes, you can use that attack to help strip her clothes off. And, of course, you can make her robot dance. I just wanted to see it in more detail. She does like a, ooh, yes, kind of dance. Speaking of robot fights, yeah, Genocide Jill pretty much destroys this boss fight. And, of course, you can use your special moves on it. Oh, I actually caught a Monokuma in this one, too. Now, I've noticed that Kotoko's robot is very frail. It's probably going to die in the next special attack. Like, look, I've already taken off the special protector. So what's one more attack going to do? Well, it's probably going to end up doing a lot. There we go. We got one pair of scissors. Let's use that to our advantage. And, by the way, the fight's over. Yeah. She's very brittle. And now for something I cut out of an episode. One of these Ball Monokuma's pathing got so messed up, it actually ruined a take. I actually had to load a save and redo this. Because look at this! Look how far out of his way he's trying to reach that Siren Monokuma. He came all the way back here, and if he sees me, the jig is up. So, okay, let's completely forget which bullet to use and try to use move on him. And of course that's not going to work. Niskel, you idiot, you're supposed to use knockback. But of course that's not going to work. And unfortunately this means I'm going to die in a very stupid way. Just because I forgot how to play the game and the pathing got messed up. It's not my fault, okay? Yeah, there's a reason I cut that. And now I just want to show you something. I mentioned in Chapter 3 at the very beginning that this is the shortest chapter in the game, and I'm speeding this up for you. This is a 20-minute recording. If you take out all the story elements, if you skip past those, if you go through all the gameplay, you are looking at about 20 minutes worth of footage in this playthrough. And there's only a few key events that you actually, have to participate in. You get through the dark segment. We're already like 30 seconds into this speed run. You skip all these extra events. You have to go all the way back to the sewer, to the safe haven for the adults, kill the Monokuma, and then go through the, God, what did I call it? The motivation machine? Yeah, there we go. You gotta get through that, and then the chapter's over after you beat the boss. There is nothing stopping you from making this chapter any longer. Because you also have just, like, 3 solitary puzzles right in a row. You get past those, and then you're pretty much done. Another thing is, there's a lot of Monokuma that you could just run past. If you notice, like, in regular corridors, I just run past all Monokumas. You don't have to fight them. And I think that's what takes up most of the time when doing the Let's Play, is just sitting there killing the Monokumas, because you need the coins. You gotta get the money in order to get the better upgrades. But if you just, like, fudge puzzles and just do things badly, you're still not wasting a lot of time. In fact, the jingle that you get for completing a puzzle correctly is only a couple seconds shorter than just fudging the puzzle and leaving. You're only losing like a couple seconds, so I guess if you wanted to strategically speedrun this game, you have to do all puzzles correctly. And I'm not even gonna make that joke anymore. See all these Monokuma, you just run past them. Who cares? You don't have to fight them. Unfortunately, there's no quicker way that you can get through this, unless you want to use, you know, Genocide Jack and get through it, but that'd be wasting up your battery that you can use on the boss. And I've already shown that the boss is a pushover, so having an extra battery just ready for that fight to happen, you just fly right through it. And here we go, we're already halfway through the chapter. We've made it to the safe haven, we gotta fight the Monokumas, skip a few more scenes, and that's the chapter. I can't believe how short this is, because I was expecting the rest of the chapters to be that short, like, from here on out. But no. As you're going to see for the next chapter, Chapter 4 is long. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of story happening. And Chapter 3 does have a lot of story happening, but all in a row. I mean, it works in a visual novel sense. I mean, it works perfectly fine. One thing I did want to try, and you're actually going to see this in the unique deaths, is I do actually let a lot of these adults die. In fact, I let them all die, just to show off a unique death. But I was wondering if there was a special scene for having none of the adults die. There is not. So here's the motivation machine. Go ahead and skip that event, and go ahead and save Komaru from the icky grabby hands. And by the way, I'm so glad I haven't had a lot of people saying, well, I liked it. No, you shouldn't. You should all feel dirty for watching this. And that is exactly what the game wanted. So I'll give Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls points. If they wanted to make their audience feel disgust, they did it. They did it real well. By the way, they give you 7 minutes to get through this train scene. That's kind of ridiculous. And, you know, having a good charge attack for Genocide Jack just completely bulldozes everything in here. Especially like junk Monokumas, guard Monokumas. You could just fly right through them, the beasts. They don't last long. Now look at that, I got 5 for the price of 1. You're about to see the shortest chapter gone in about, what did I speed this up to? 5 minutes? Speeding this up as fast as my editor will let me. It only takes 5 minutes to get through this chapter. Just flying through here. But it was about a 20-minute take. You didn't miss much. I just wanted to show how short this is and how quickly you could just ruin this chapter. I mean, chapter was already ruined because of the strong sexual elements that should not have been here when involving a child. But hey, despair, bitch! Alright, let's take out this boss in the quickest way possible, aka the fuck it button. Use that fuck it button to the best of your advantage, and the fight's over. Done, gone, over with. And, of course, skipping the last few cutscenes, you're done. 20 minutes and 10 seconds in that recording. I got a D rank. So let's see what Byakuya has to say about this. Oof, black flowers now.
There's gum on the bottom of my shoe. Get it off with your mouth. I suppose I can forgive you after that. Of course, I don't want your spit on my shoe either.
I think I'll try my best to get all the other rankings just so you can see what Byakuya has to say, and I'll throw those in a bonus episode. Yeah, that's it's kind of ridiculous. So let's die.
So in the end, children killed all the adults. I guess there's no longer hope in this town.
Yeah, fight back to save the adults. Imagine that. Kotoko, go ahead. Get your kill shot.
Victory to Fighter Robot Highlander the Great! I shall feed your corpses to the mice!
Climax.
Motivation, so much fun!
Yeah, it kind of figures that I'd save the climax for the climax. Speaking of which...
I don't hate it. I don't hate it after all. Motivation complete! Access beyond this point is prohibited. So, game over!
As pure as a lily. If you actually take 7 minutes long to beat these guys...
Time! Retrying is a pain. I should just quit and start another game.
Oh my god, she is Ultra Director Jester!
I don't hate it. I don't hate it after all. Motivation complete! Access beyond this point is prohibited. So, game over!
There you go, pervs. I made Komaru Naegi into a punchline. Next time on Ultra Despair Girls, we're hitting up Chapter 4.